Welcome back to Daily Dose. My name's Robert, my pal Susan. We're talking a lot about day one, and I wanted to jump in here because the program once again leaps and bounds. There's a couple things coming up that are really, I think, kind of explosive in nature. One is the book being coming out soon, Acceptance, which details the history and how it came about. And then two is this real turn, this sharp pivot toward the non-Parkinson's community to invite them in. And you know where this just got really specific and cool, because we had Field of Dreams as its own thing, but I think this calling to the Stephen King adventure is going to be really interesting. And two things we have in front of us: one, the Shawshank 30th anniversary, big deal, like a convention in Mansfield next month. And then the King convention, King Con, in October, where once again, both places will have a massive amount of King fans. And we're going to share with them what we're doing. And this is the same as I think any inventor, entrepreneur, or medical device type person would do at their various conventions. You go and you share the latest in what's going on to see if the public population is interested, wants it, etc. That's what we're doing right now. And ultimately, it'll pan back to Parkinson's.
Yes. And I think I have a question.
Yeah.
Uh, Does do we need to be like fully fleshed out with all the things, the Stephen King related things, for example, before we bring them up? Or do we have teasers, or do we have partially developed ideas? How
Yeah.
do we do this together with
But
the world? How does this work?
your questions are right, and I've started to do some of it. I don't know if you've seen it, and I'll put links down below. But I wrote, I'm writing a series of blogs about my relationship to Stephen King that give that background. I have a King-based website, not website, but web page within ours that is an extension of Day One, right? And the three films we're focusing on right now are Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption, and The Green Mile. And as it turns out, interestingly, in the notes, these are three of Stephen's he knows they're special, these films, what they've done. He has called Stand By Me the best adaptation of any of his work.
That's awesome.
And he and Frank Darabont, the director of Shawshank and The Green Mile, have a very close relationship. And what they've done together, and both being in a prison motif, they've talked about the value of that in the humanity sense. And we already hit that in the Parkinson's world. How Steve had a line about what prison does to the human condition and what it feels like in the body. And I'm like, this is exactly the space we're playing in. And by the way, Frank Darabont dedicated the book to a friend of his who had ALS in the
Okay.
hope of finding a cure. So we're in the space, the same space as these gentlemen, just slightly differently focused to show
And
you
Muhammad
that,
Ali kind of led the way for us
right.
by saying, I feel like a prisoner in my own body.
That's right. So all of those things, you're right. There's the public facing stuff on the website to contextualize this, and that'll be what we'll all we'll point people toward. It'll always have the backing of the Parkinson's, the nature of the nonprofit. And this is an interesting thing. This is dropping this right here on the dose. Is I what I'm thinking to do is to have people that they will, come in and they'll recognize, oh, I'm taking this class, and by the way, as I take this class, I'm benefiting the Parkinson's community. So not only am I getting the personal benefit of the class, it's interesting to me, has nothing to do with Parkinson's in my life. My tuition helps the nonprofit
That's
do its
nice.
work for the Parkinson's community. So people
That's
can feel
true.
good. It's
Yeah.
not a tax write-off because they'll be taking the class. However, they can recognize, wow, I'm taking a class, and at the same time, I'm benefiting a great
Yeah,
cause.
that's really cool. That's really cool. Because the um, write-off, the tax credit it's its own thing, but if that's not uh, that is not your focus, that doesn't mean that's not the only yes and to the experience. In this case, the yes and is, as you said, just that personal warm feeling of I did this class for me, and there's this great
Right.
bonus to this.
Yeah, this is where it extends beyond, say, a master class or something, which I really enjoy, by the way. Master class is a great program. However, this is an opportunity to say, oh, I get this. and it does this effect. Now, to yes, and even one step further, as we close this episode, is to say, if people said, "Hey, I love this class. I'd love to donate a scholarship to a person with Parkinson's because I could see how this would
Yeah.
help."
Yes.
That would be another yes, and right, that they would feel after they got the personal value out of it, someone else could really use this. And again,
That's happened.
right, it
We've
has.
had multiple people donate scholarship money so someone else, either someone they knew or someone who was needful who they didn't even know. I mean, it's just beautiful.
It brings up a really good point, which I think will kick into the next dose, which is, so people, often with a gift, they want to not see their return, as it were, but they want to know it went somewhere. This is where it's incumbent upon us, and I think we're doing it, but what we need to do it more is to start getting our writing out there as a group. And we're going to talk about that more in the next episode.
Okay, do it.